What about the murder of the Baroness? Was that also your doing?
The death of the Baroness was never part of the plan. Dr. Gebhardt had a score to settle with her and got in my way.
You didn't care about the key to the safe?
I never wanted to steal the eye out of the safe. I always intended to strike here, in the museum.
What about Gebhardt's confession?
A nice idea, don't you think? It keeps the inspector out of my hair, for a few more hours at least, until everything collapses like a house of cards.
Why did you want to steal the second eye here?
The eye was in the bank in Zurich for a long time, impossible to get at. Then the safe on the ship in Legrand's cabin, too complicated. I heard about the secret basement and found out how the security system worked. I would have preferred to save my performance for the gala this evening, but, well, events demanded a change of schedule, not least because of you, my nosy friend.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story.
I told you not to get off. What if the train had gone without you?
So, you're taking a job as a ship's doctor.
I am excited but nervous too. I'm not exactly a champion swimmer.
If you wind up in the water on board a ship, something's gone terribly wrong.
What was all that in the museum?
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it? And I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly killed them.
You let them catch you.
It wasn't my fault. Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel? Ah, marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Why are we meeting here and not in Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot. Our best bet is still Cairo. Everything is prepared. Mr. X will provide us with everything we need. As planned, I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to discover our relationship. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You take care of the letter, I'll take care of everything else. The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught. What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my games would be worth your life. You just do what I tell you. Stick the letter on the door of the safe or leave it on top of it. I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood. Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? Save your bacon?
I'd have made it out on my own.
Oh, yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Oh, please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye, and we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that? One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble, but both eyes together are a legend. My greatest triumph.
Shouldn't I put the eye somewhere for safekeeping? Just in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll hide the jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Okay, fine. Huh, that's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train. The crate must have had bananas or something in it. It's empty now. It's built out of thin wooden boards. Probably didn't have to bear much weight. There probably isn't a single newspaper between Moscow and Madrid that's not reporting on the burglary. I'm famous. Unfortunately, not for the sort of elegantly executed theft I'd like to be known for. They won't let me ride along in the freight car. not even if I ask nicely. A leather bag like the ones used by country doctors for carrying their equipment. Some of the passengers got off the train to stretch their legs, but this man started his journey right here in Zurich. He waited a good 10 minutes for the train and began to get impatient. Clothes maketh the man. Put a uniform on a short, old, rather chubby little man, and they'll show him all due respect, even if he's only a constable. The uniform alone gives him power, and that counts for a lot in this part of the world. Burglary in British Museum, 1 casualty, £5,000 damage, culprit unknown. Return of the Raven? I'd have escaped anyway, but Inch just couldn't resist playing with dynamite. I hope the security guard recovers soon. This wooden crate is big enough to completely conceal. It'd be protected from prying eyes. And I could make my exit from the... There's still one problem. Someone might see me picking up the bag and putting it... I can probably pry the bottom boards off without too much effort. They're thin, and the nails are short. Perfect. It looks like a normal crate. It's now or never.
Hey, you! Scram!
Yes, sir. Let the games begin.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
No. Can't you see that I am talking to the constable?
The train is leaving in a few minutes, sir. I have to ask you to board it now.
We should get on. Perhaps we'll be able to continue our conversation during the trip.
I won't stand in the way. Where's my bag?
You left it right there.
I know that. I want to know where it is now.
I don't know. I'll look for it right away. If you gentlemen would get on the train in the meantime...
I will hold you and your employers liable for this.
I'm sure he'll find the bag. Come on, Dr. Gebhardt. I will help you with your luggage.
Fine.
A handy Swiss Army knife. A good... If I try to just get on the train, the conductor would probably stop me and might even turn me over. I can't risk that. The conductor doesn't really seem to know where. Finding a particular piece of luggage at a railway station is like finding a neat... You seem to be searching for something. Can I help?
Go away. There's no money to be earned here.
That's not what I mean. I just thought, if you're looking for a brown bag...
Why? Did you steal one?
If that were true, I wouldn't be offering to help you. I saw a little blonde boy take the bag. He ran off with it, over there.
Really? Thanks.
Isn't that the bag?
Where?
Nothing personal. No! Oh, man!
Let me have a look.
Damn, I can't let the professor see me. I shadowed him for days in London. He might recognize me.
Calm down, Professor. See what I can do. You don't understand.
Professor Lucio seems to travel light. The Baroness's luggage takes up half of... I don't think that the suitcase... My God, I barely look like myself. I'm not as good as the Raven at slipping into other roles. He's had decades to perfect it. Whatever. It'll be good enough for the people on the train. The sink. The sink. No, that won't help me now. Professor Lucio hasn't slept a single night in the cabin yet. The towel is unused. If I twisted it, then I'd have a sort of rope. He doesn't give up easily. So it was a good way to get onto the train, and now it might be my only way out. The window to the right should be the Baroness's cabin, and the one on the left is the saloon car. The roof could be my escape route. Stand up. My head is level with the roof, but the roof is too slanted and smooth to climb. This is the saloon car, the coal car. Whew. There's nothing quite like traveling on a train. Secured with a heavy padlock. No, not what I need. The knife is useful for almost anything except picking locks. The blade... The safe that I need to put the envelope on is in the freight car, but I can't just walk in like... I'm not bad at it, given these conditions. I should be able to move about. The other guests don't...
Young man?
Yes, sir?
Tell me, when did they switch to self-service on the Orient Express? Should they not have informed the passengers about that in advance?
Forgive me, sir. I was...
And what about my bag? Did your colleague find it?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know.
I expected as much. There will be consequences. And now, bring me my coffee.
Of course, sir. Asshole. Beer. There's still some coffee left. A small portable rig. A dish with... Locked. Locked. Let's see... It fits! A lot of odds and ends. The bartender probably has to serve as a jack of all... So, is there anything? Here we go. A small shave. I won't be able to use use the radio. A thin, short metal rod that can be extended. Something like that might come in handy. There are several special keys. Lucky for me. Even pigs get to drink. If I mess with the doctor, I might blow my cover. So I'll have to grin and bear it and serve our esteemed passenger his coffee. If I mess with it, so I'll have... The old lady didn't get on in Zurich, and she doesn't look like someone from Nancy or Basel. I'm guessing she boarded in Paris. She seems familiar somehow. The elderly woman's carer can't keep her hands still, so she's knitting. Can I bring you ladies anything? Is everything satisfactory?
Everything is wonderful, young man.
Very good. Got it. The younger woman seems to be some kind of carer or companion for the older lady. I wouldn't like to be with her all day long. She radiates a certain restlessness and unease. I've seen her someplace before. Maybe she used to be an actress, and I recognize her from photos. She has the confidence of someone who doesn't have to prove herself anymore. She's rich, that's for sure, but it's not just that. I'd better not talk to her. Her eyes are intelligent and observant. Something tells me I'd only make life difficult for myself if I try to pull the wool over her eyes. I know people like that always have to be doing something. They feel useless if they don't have anything to do. I feel sorry for them. I think Professor Lucien is still in the hallway, trying to get into his cabin. If I mess with the doctor, so I'll have to grin and bear it and serve our esteemed passenger. It would be useful, but... There are several... Lucky for... If I mess with the doctor, I might... So I'll have... No, I don't need it. A cup of coffee.
Do you know what the problem with people like you is?
You mean our lack of a sense of duty, or our skin color, or a lack of respect for our elders? We have so many flaws. Some people would need a drink to steady their nerves, doing what I'm doing, but not me. I want a clear head if I'm going to get this envelope onto the safe. He didn't even want to hear why it took so long to get his coffee. He just wanted to tear into someone, just wanted to assert his will. It's a sad life if you have to pump yourself up by deflating others. safe is guarded by... Even he would be curious. The safe is guarded by my own... Even he would be... ventilation shaft supplies the freight car with fresh air. It also seems big enough to climb through. I'd say I found my way in. The cover has 2 hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the 2 screws on the front hold it closed. I can't see anything but the rear of the car through the slots. And that won't do. What I really need is a view of the front.
You'll get it back in Venice. Frightening me like that. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past my window.
Be off with you.
Oh, man.
I can use these.
Phew, that was close. He left the lock open. How convenient. Let's see. A wrench, you don't say. This is too easy. Okay, showtime. They should have been able to open the door with pliers. I think the coast is clear. I assume Inch has no idea how he expects to pull them. Even after months of partnership, he still doesn't trust me. Just a few more days, and I'll finally be rid of that. And until then, he has to burn in his... Obviously, they managed to open the door. I wonder who or what. Did he connect it to the burglary in London? Professor Lucien is on his way to Cairo, just like the Baroness. They both know each other. She chairs the Friends of the... I hope he's too shaken up to leave his cabin until we reach Venice. Is this a Stradivarius or something like that? If it is, maybe I should take it with me during the blackout. With any luck, I'm going to be a happy family man soon, and I'll need a few francs, lira, or marks. Self-control. Side jobs always lead to complications. There are enough unknowns in our plan as it is. No need to add more. The violinist was already on the train in Zurich. Handsome devil. I'm glad my girlfriend isn't here. She loves to make me jealous. And once I'm raging mad, she leans forward and whispers one of those phrases that only she can say. He seems to be worried about something. So much the better for me. If he's absorbed in his own problems, he won't be paying attention to anyone else, and won't be able to offer good testimony to the police. We're still in the Swiss Alps. We should reach the Italian border in half an hour. Some maps, info for travelers, some pictures, and the schedule, all neatly hung up with magnets. lock at the bottom of the window. Maybe. The big map shows the different routes the Orient Express took in the course of its long history. It's larger than the other notices, and thus hung up with larger magnets. I'll take one with me. Some of the photos are rather nice. Professional work. Climbing over the coal car is the only way to get into the driver's cab while the train is moving. I can't imagine Inch climbing over it to trigger a blackout up front. I bet he paid someone to do his dirty work. Inch almost never takes personal risks, and usually he tries to keep his hands clean. So small. I don't think I need anything else. The safe is guarded by my old friend. Even he would be cute. Even he would. First, I need to get an overview of what's awaiting me in the freight car, and then I'll take care of the cover. In theory, I could use the mirror to get a look at the front of the car, but my arm is too thick to fit through the grate. It would be useful, but how can I attach the mirror? If I have to. That should do it. It sticks. Okay. The candy is so sticky that it'll hold the mirror without any trouble. As I expected, it sticks. The cover has 2 hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the 2 screws on the front hold it closed. There's the guard. The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. I could shimmy down the shaft and hit him on the head from behind. Uh-oh.
Are you okay, Robert?
Nothing to report, sir.
At ease.
Any suspicious passengers come aboard in Zurich, sir?
Not really. It could be anyone and no one. But we've received support from the Swiss police. A certain Constable Zellner.
Oh?
Very motivated. Might get on our nerves.
That limits my options. I can't overpower 2 people. I don't think I'll be able to slip into the carriage unseen after all. Oh, there has to be a way. I have to keep Inch happy. How do I get you onto the safe? Or on top of it? The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. And Inch said something about a blackout and a tunnel. I could use the moments of confusion and darkness to toss the letter onto the safe. Might work, as long as I manage to open the ventilation shaft and choose the right moment. I could unscrew the screws, but I should only open the cover inside the tunnel.
What was that?
Sir! Must have fallen out.
Put that on the floor.
Yes, sir.
That was close. If the second screw makes that much noise, it's over for me. A wrench from the toolbox. The cover has two hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the two screws on the front hold it closed. To the string. Done.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights! Ah! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box.
What the dickens? It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
What's the meaning of this? What do you want here?
What was the point of the bomb?
Isn't that obvious? I wanted to dispose of Legrand as spectacularly as possible.
You almost disposed of me as well.
Did I not tell you to deliver the letter and leave immediately?
People could have died.
But of course, that was the point of the bomb.
I don't want to hurt anyone. You know that.
And you know that I don't care what you want. Obey my orders and nothing will happen to you, and you'll soon be a rich man.
I won't blindly obey orders anymore. I want to know what the plan is.
You know as much as you need to know. We will steal the second eye in Cairo before the eyes of the world. The theft of the first eye got everyone's attention. Legrand's death would have increased the excitement immeasurably, but this will do just as well. We'll have a showdown instead. The Raven versus the Inspector. That should also electrify the press.
Why are you doing this? I thought it was about the jewels. Why are we making life difficult for ourselves and attracting so much attention?
It's about more than that. It's about performing on the greatest stage of all. About the end of a legend. You'll see when it's time for you to see. Until then, just do as I say.
But James? James! Where on earth are you?
During the trip, we'll keep a low profile and steer clear of the ground.
I lost the ticket and the fake passport.
I swear, if my arm were still good enough to climb, I'd have disposed of you long ago. Oh, well. I'd prefer that no one see you while you're on board. Smuggle yourself on board and stay under cover until Cairo.
Okay.
And no more games. Nothing that Legrand, the police, or anyone else could do to you compares to what I will do to you if you don't follow my plan.
James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
He thinks he knows me. He thinks I'm stupid and weak. I have him right where I want him. Here's a young thief who'll show an old-timer how it's done. Even if it means a bit of solitary confinement. I hope the dock workers have left the cargo hold. I better just take a peek. Or at least, I'd take a peek if it were possible to open it. I'm lying on a pile of clothes. Different fabrics. Some rougher, some softer. This one feels like a fine net. No, I don't think this'll be much use. This trunk is built like a coffin. Feels like metal. Angular. I think it's the trunk lock. You probably have to pull a handle to unlock the trunk from the outside. No one thought about making it possible to open from the inside. Okay, where's the screwdriver? Knife. There's the screwdriver. So, if I just turn this... Aha! Oh, you're kidding me! 2 metal pipes, stable, about 10 meters apart. The stuff over there doesn't look like it was recently loaded. Probably part of the ship's inventory. Tools and spare parts, I'd say. There might be something in that box that could help me escape from the trunk. Of course, it would be more helpful if it weren't out of my reach. The ship may be showing its age, but those pipes look more than sturdy enough. Seems to be a strap for holding something on the shelf above the trunk. Unfortunately, I can't reach the clasp. It's fastened tightly, and I can't reach. And then it'll just tie itself around the pipes. Not gonna happen. All right then. I'll just drive the blade through the end of the strap. The knife isn't stuck. I'll pull it out. Oh, brilliant! Hopefully the clasp won't slip out of the box when I pull the strap. The pipe rolled up against the shelf, but it's still out of my reach. I can't... How's that supposed to work? Looks like I hit the jackpot on my first try. There's nothing more to be... Looks like I... Even if the knife were to stick, it won't hold when I pull on it. It's worth a try. Ta-da! That should hold. That's no use. Looks like I hit the... My best chance. Steady as a rock. Elegant. Oh, great. Okay, I'll tie him up and then get out of here before they start looking for him. And I already have an idea where I can hide.
I can't imagine that he'd just leave.
Yeah, and without saying goodbye either.
No need to be frightened, young lady.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you.
This is hardly the time or the place. What happened on the train?
Nothing bad. Everyone is fine.
Inch is dangerous. I warned you.
I know. That's why we're being careful. And you have a smart and handsome young thief at your side.
And humble, too.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you.
What have I done to deserve luck like this? Inch bothers me. He's shown what he's capable of. What if he finds out about our plan?
How would he? We're careful.
He's more ruthless than we expected. The bomb on the train. I don't want to think about it.
We need to make sure that we stay calm.
You mean that I stay calm?
I'm not worried about you. I know you.
Shall we go over the plan one more time?
Good idea. We know that Inch hid the first eye in the Baroness's luggage.
I'll break into her cabin and replace the eye with a fake.
Right. We'll steal the second eye in Cairo.
And Inch will be caught in the act.
It's simple.
The devil is in the detail. I have to get into the Baroness's cabin undetected, then find the secret hiding place, and I can't leave any evidence behind.
Yes. And Inch said something about a combination, so the hiding place might be locked.
One step at a time. I think I'll assess the situation first.
And I think I'll make myself comfortable for a little while.
So this is how married life will be.
Works for me.
Everything went according to plan in London?
Except for the explosion, yes. The Bobby was right on time.
Because he had a good tip-off.
I had enough time to take the eye, but unfortunately there was no time to replace it with the fake.
Where is it? A work of art. Almost as beautiful as the original.
I can't tell the difference.
Inch could. But if all goes to plan, he won't have a chance to take a closer look at the jewel until after the burglary at the Egyptian Museum. Will Legrand cause any trouble?
Everything's still going according to plan. That means he's clever, but not clever enough.
And the Bobby?
Peasant's cunning, nothing more. He won't be able to solve the puzzle on his own.
There's still Inch.
He doesn't suspect anything. We laid the foundation well. I've been his assistant for months already. He doesn't trust me, but he thinks he can play me for a sucker. That's enough.
Speaking of Inch, I saw him talking to you in Venice. What was it about?
He was angry because his attack on the train failed and because I lost my ticket.
How did you get on the ship?
As a stowaway, locked in a cold, dark cargo hold.
Poor boy. I'll go out now and lead the police and master thieves around by the nose.
I can think of something else to do.
I can't.
I'm sure I could help you if...
Stand aside.
If you told me what you're looking for.
You're just getting in my way. Now get out.
I'll wait at the door, madam.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Miss...
Mayers?
Can I help you?
No, I'm just having a look around the ship. Good day. Oh, that was close. Very fine handiwork. The model maker even wrote the name of the ship on the tiny life preservers. But the winter garden at the back of the saloon is missing, and the stern deck looks different. It was obviously made before the ship was remodeled. Maybe only someone with a lot of time and a
Come in. How can I help you, young lady?
Are you the ship's doctor?
Yes, of course.
You see, that's what I thought, because you've got a uniform and you work in the medical center.
Well spotted, young lady. My name is Dr. Gebhardt. How can I help you?
What are the other passengers like?
Listen, young lady, I do not really have time to chat right now. Today is my first day, and it is going differently than I had expected.
You do seem a little stressed. Maybe you should relax. Stress isn't good for you.
You're right. If there is nothing else I can help you with.
But you weren't really helpful at all. Maybe I'll come back later. Bye now. Several journals and magazines. Ah, this looks pretty interesting. Art and Culture Today. Huh, there's something about the exhibition. Unique masterpieces exhibited for the first time together in their home country. Tireless efforts of Baroness von Trebitz. No time for reading. I have to find the secret compartment in the Baroness's cabin. The only regular event seems to be the nightly drink in the saloon. Judging from the No time for reading. No time. We briefly discussed the lack of escape. Inch is intelligent and ruthless, a dangerous combination. He's not a brilliant planner, but he is smart and careful. He senses danger. I'm afraid he might suspect that something is wrong. I think he's frightening. You look in his face and you'd believe that he's at peace with the world and himself. But Adil told me about his mood swings. From one moment to the next, the mask falls away, and he's capable of anything. No use worrying about... He has the enviable talent of being able to sleep anywhere, anytime. He once fell asleep on a cable car and only woke up after he'd already gone up the mountain and back down again. We booked this cabin because it's centrally located, easy to duck in whenever we need to. Of course, the fact that it's a first-class cabin with a huge bathroom and shower had nothing to do with it. As soon as I've swapped the jewels, I'll treat myself to a hot shower, and then we'll see how the evening progresses. As soon as I've... Okay then. I am Patricia Mayers. Young, attractive, clueless. I am Patricia Mayers. Normally I don't carry so many things around, but it would have been suspicious if I'd come aboard with nothing but a rucksack whilst pretending to be the daughter of a wealthy family. I got this necklace from my father. It's supposed to remind me that money isn't the most important thing in life. If all you've got is this penny, as well as family and friends, then you're a very rich girl, he said. I'll take it with me. It'll bring me luck. I always try to carry as few personal items as possible. If my things are ever searched, they won't reveal my true identity. I don't like wearing hats, but they do fit the role. And I have to admit that the day in London when we shopped for Patricia Mayers was a lot of fun. It happened pretty fast between us. It was magic when we first met. Birds of a feather flock together, and he can be very charming. Daddy wasn't at all amused when I brought him home, mind, but I don't think he'd have been satisfied with anyone. As soon as I've swapped the jewel, I have no idea. Even someone... Practicality was definitely placed ahead of design here. I guess the Lydia regularly docks at harbours that don't have their own gangways. And rather than make the passengers climb ladders, they opted for the less beautiful alternative. Two handsome sailors are standing at the table and studying a marine map. Good thing they're busy. I can have a look around without being disturbed. If someone leaves the bridge, I'll pretend to be stargazing, and if that doesn't work, I'll just turn on the charm. A classic. The thief enters through the ventilation shaft. Can it really be that easy? No, it can't. The cover is screwed shut. All the fur, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed. Bull, curling, shuffleboard, all the same to me. I'm not interested in any of that now. This should be the entrance to the cargo hold. Not really my concern. Lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe and enjoy the rest of the trip. A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow, but I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun.
Bellissimo! Fantastico! Ha ha!
Would it be okay for you if I get some fresh air up on deck?
Of course, my dear. Give my regards to the sea. Wooden salad tongs, just small enough to carry around unseen.
A wonderful concert, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have expected you to be a connoisseur of classical music.
Because I'm American?
Because you're young, and friendly, and radiant. Someone like you doesn't have to know a lot to get along well in life.
Are you easily prejudiced at your age?
In my long experience, there's often a core of truth at the center of every prejudice.
Prejudice is the reason of fools.
Was that written in the book you once read?
Oh, I've read many books. Good books.
But not my books, you mean to say?
You're a writer?
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mayers. You know, I'm not planning on throwing myself at a man.
I'm glad to hear it. You have to work. Earn your own money.
Oh, I will. My grades are excellent, and I really want to study acting in New York.
None of my books has ever been made into a good film. The stories were twisted, shortened, and simplified, so that even the dimmest fellow could follow them.
I want to do theater and travel. I speak 3 languages.
That would be 3 more than most people your age can speak. Do what you have to do. But stay away from bad men.
Is this your first trip on the Lydia?
That's quite enough. Life is too short for conversations like this. I do wish that rather delightful Swiss policeman had come along.
I heard you had an interesting trip on the train.
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue. Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel. Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties, but my son was one of them, the worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
May I take my leave?
You may.
The lady is not a fan of I shouldn't talk to her unless... Ah, lovely big... Lady Westmacott never let anyone tell her what to do. They say she was a stubborn one, and today, she's one of the richest women in the world. The poster proudly announces the ship's first Atlantic crossing. The city of New York welcomes the MS Lydia. The silhouette of New York and of a ship, but not of this one. They probably use the same template for every ship. Looks pretty official, with a coat of arms, flag, seal, and all the trappings. And the poster is clean as a whistle. Someone seems to cherish it. The silhouette of New York looks pretty. No use worrying. Inch is watching the door. I need... A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wanted to tell you that I really loved your music, and that Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others, although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? You're so talented. Why aren't you performing on the world's great stages?
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Over-ambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad. I got better and better. Really good. But nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other, less talented violinists pass you by because you just aren't lucky enough?
How terrible.
For every star in the limelight, there are a dozen more that burn out unseen, fading month by month. I didn't want to be one of those people who waste their lives chasing dreams without realizing that they're unattainable. If I couldn't have the life that I always dreamt of, and that my family expected from me, then at least I could have the next best life.
The next best life.
Mansions, limousines, parties. Everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word. But maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I play the violin, which I always loved to do.
But it's not really like that.
It's empty. My life is just a shell. A show. And everyone knows it. I loved something once, and I burned for it. But now, the violin is just an accessory for practicing my real profession.
And your family?
How could I ever look them in the eyes? A failed violinist who gave up.
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from alcohol. What will be left once I lose my good looks? I'll have nothing then. And so I'll put an end to it all.
You can't say things like that.
With my father's pistol. Fate won't even grant me a quick death.
Don't you think you can still make it?
No. It's too late now. The real question is...
I don't know.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer. He's sweating profusely. Burst capillaries and a sweet odor. I hope the crew doesn't take the captain for a role model, and that they stay sober for the rest of the trip. I hope the... No use worrying. The salad tongs won't be missed until breakfast. All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut. The penny might be the right size. The penny fits perfectly into the screw slot, but my fingers aren't strong enough to turn the screw. That's it. I can jam the penny in and make an improvised screwdriver. That's it! I just hope that this is the right shaft. I still haven't found a way to get back into the ventilation shaft from the cabin. I need something like a rope and a way to tie it to the shaft. No idea what kind of flag this is, but the pole it's attached to, it's about 80 centimeters. Yes, it's... I could tie the bath towel around the pole, put the pole across the ventilation shaft, and climb down with the help of the towel. Sounds like a plan. Here goes nothing.
Ah, Jakob Aust. I finally got you. I'll have them arrest you and justice will be done.
Can I be of assistance, madam?
Yes, you can get out of the way.
Shall I tidy up, madam?
No! It's time to celebrate.
Excellent. The coast is clear. I'd prefer to lock the door. Someone could come in and catch me at any moment. But it's important not to leave a trace. Inch absolutely cannot find out about us. I must hurry. A giant portable cupboard. Maybe the jewel is inside. Impressive for a quick drink on the go. More bottles. Might be the good stuff. Napkins and towels, but no jewel. Corkscrew, bottle opener, coaster, nothing else. Gin, whiskey, liqueur, sherry, vodka, brandy, and champagne. Every bottle is at least half empty. I wonder what the Baroness is running away from. Loneliness? Disappointment? Grief? What's that? A small leather strap. Aha! I'd put money on the Eye of the Sphinx being behind this door. I don't think anyone would bet against me. Nefertiti, Guernica, A.D., Buonarroti's Adam. This could be a memory aid for the Baroness, and it would explain how Inch discovered the combination. I'm going to copy the hints. As I see it, I have to decipher these clues to find 3 of the symbols. Then I can guess the 4th. Well, Nefertiti was an Egyptian queen. The monogram and the 2 other clues aren't much help. To me, it looks like a combination lock. A good one, too. The door only opens when the right symbols are in place. The door is locked. There are outlines of 8 symbols per cylinder. I've copied the hints into my diary. I've copied the hints. Maybe someone... I've copied the hint. Maybe some... A suitable glass for every occasion. But most of them look more or less unused. The Baroness probably disregards style and etiquette when she's drinking alone, and just uses the same glass. The Baroness wrote something down and took the slip of paper with her. It's probably not important. It seems like she was searching for a specific photo, and that she actually found it. Jakob Aust. Now I've got you, she said. We got our hands on the list of passengers, but I don't recognize the name. Hundreds of black... The mannequin could probably wear my clothes. It'd disappear under the Baroness's clothes, though. As a child, I often stood in front of shop windows and tried to stand as still as the mannequins. When I got bored, I claimed that one of the mannequins had blinked and declared myself the winner. Not even Adil would believe that this painting was an original. He was interested in art when we first met, but for him it was always about the content, not the technique. I had my work cut out teaching him to concentrate on the stroke, the material, and the signature of the artist. It's the only way to distinguish an original from a fake. I don't care who painted it as long as it speaks to me, he said. A perspective that, as an art thief, I can't share. Luckily, I don't have to go through all these suitcases. Inch has been traveling with this woman through Europe for months. I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. I'm here to steal one of the most valuable jewels in the world, not to swipe the contents of handbags. I'm sure that the eye is in the Baroness's luggage. That was close. Only I knew 3 of the 4 symbols, but whilst I don't know at least 3 of them. If only I knew, but whilst... No, I'd better... I'm going to repair the... Professor Lucien could certainly tell me everything there is to know about Nefertiti, but he might also realize that I was in his museum in London. I'd better not talk to him. Professor Lucien could certainly tell me everything there is to know about Nefertiti, but he might also realize that I was in his museum in London. I'd better not talk to him. It seems like Dr. Gebhardt was able to wrestle himself away from his work, but he still doesn't seem to be very relaxed. Quite the opposite. And why won't he go to the saloon? Dr. Gebhardt, getting some fresh air?
Oh, you could say that.
Do you know the Egyptian queen Nefertiti?
Yes. There is a famous bust of her.
Really? Tell me more.
No, I am sorry. I do not have time for that.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Now listen, young lady, I do not know what they told you, but just because I am German, I am not responsible for the crimes of my government.
Crimes? What are you talking about?
We obeyed orders, just like everybody else. Now leave me alone.
Do you know what the monogram AD stands for?
What?
A capital A with a small d below it.
Yes, I do. Will you leave me alone if I tell you what it means?
You know.
It is not just any monogram. It is the first. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist, signed all his works with it. He was the first artist to sign all of his work with a monogram. It was not common to do so before then.
Are you sure?
His wooden engravings were, and still are, printed billions of times in Germany.
Billions of times? You're exaggerating.
Not at all. His work appears on German marks.
And what?
That's enough. I told you what you wanted to know. Please, leave me alone now.
Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
Buonarroti.
No idea. Don't know him.
But...
Try your luck somewhere else and leave me alone, please. Thank you.
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
The silhouette of New York looks pretty. The doctor is upstairs. He probably locked the door. Yes. Maybe the Indeed. An article about the different works of art and how they survived the Second World War. And there's also a picture of the bust of Nefertiti. The unique Egyptian work of art was 1913. Permission to export to Germany. Second World War. Safe at the Reich Bank. Then a bunker. And then a salt mine. Prevented from shipping the bust to the United States. Back in Berlin since 1956. Very glad, blah, blah, blah. Soon in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin and hopefully someday in a reunified Berlin on the Museum Island. Okay, so the bust of Nefertiti is located in Berlin. Berlin. The bear! The Berlin Bear! There's a bear on Berlin's coat of arms. Nefertiti, bear. That's it! I have to find out where the other works of art are located and which animals are associated with those cities. Now I know what to look for. It'll be child's play. The bust of Nefertiti is in Berlin. Legrand isn't important, but there's still a lot. Strange. I wonder what he seems like. Strange. I wonder he's. He's sweating profusely. Burst capillaries, and I hope the crew doesn't take the Hello, Captain DeCanti.
Miss Myers, how nice to see you. You look beautiful. We missed you at dinner.
I was in my cabin. I didn't feel very well.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better.
Lovely concert, wasn't it?
You only heard the end. It was really wonderful.
All the more curious that Lady Westmacott embarrassed Mr. Kreutzer like that, don't you think?
I have no idea what got into her. They say she's a difficult person, but maybe it's the privilege of famous people to be a bit strange from time to time. When I was still a young sailor, Enrico Caruso was a passenger on our ship. And he...
I think she's fascinating. She's achieved so much, and all by herself.
Lady Westmacott? Oh yes, that's true. The most successful writer in the world.
Do you know any more about her?
Everything. I'm her biggest fan. What do you want to know?
Where is she from? Who were her parents?
Her father was a wealthy British salesman. Her mother died in childbirth. She had an outstanding education, but was a lonely child, they say. Her father was away on business most of the time.
I know how she feels. For many years, my father's career was also more important than me.
Don't say that, my child. Your father paid for the life you now live.
Did Lady Westmacott's father marry again?
Yes, a woman 15 years his junior. She didn't really care for the child. She was something of a high society lady. She made the headlines with her antics more often than the family would have liked.
And her novels. How did she come to be a writer?
In interviews, she always mentions her French tutor, who encouraged her to write when she was a child. After some poems and short stories, she began to write detective novels with great success. The rest is history. The experts are arguing whether she or Shakespeare has sold more books.
Although she doesn't receive the same deference.
That's true. But her books are much more innovative and extraordinary than people generally give her credit for.
What does an elderly lady like her want in Egypt?
I couldn't really say. She was there many times with her husband, an archaeologist. He died a long time ago.
I heard something about a reception at the Egyptian Museum?
Yes, for the eyes of the Sphinx. Or rather, for the eye. But I don't think she'd go to Cairo just for that. She usually stays away from official events. Didn't participate in the literary scene either. Always stayed as far away as possible from high society. Probably because of her stepmother.
Is it true that you're a war hero?
Mm-hmm. In 2 world wars. That tells you how old I must be.
You're as old as you feel.
Oh God, I hope not.
Aren't you feeling well?
You shouldn't burden your pretty little head with the dark thoughts of an old man, my dear.
If you don't feel well, maybe you should take it easy.
I'm afraid if I take it easy, it'll kill me.
You seem to be a pessimist.
Fatty liver, asthma, gallstones, jaundice, gout, shingles, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, circulatory trouble, knee problems, pulmonary embolism, gastritis, migraine, neuralgia, tinnitus, rheumatism, pleurisy, thrombosis, and constipation. Those are what's been diagnosed so far. My body is a curse.
Oh, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry.
Forgive an old man. I didn't mean to shock you.
You're still the captain of this beautiful ship.
They couldn't just get rid of me, so they stuck me somewhere where I can't make trouble anymore.
Don't say that.
This ship runs fine without me. The crew knows what to do. They don't need me. They don't want me.
Captain!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm burdening you with all of this. Forgive me, eh? I'd like to rest for a while. Soon enough it'll be time to head back to the coalface.
Captain DeConti?
Yes?
Guernica, does that mean anything to you?
Not a harbor that I've ever docked at.
Oh, that's too bad. Do you know Albrecht Dürer?
Yes, an artist. Not bad. But he has his weaknesses as well.
For example?
For one, he wasn't Italian.
That's a pity.
You can say that again. At least he lived in Italy for a while.
What else can you tell me about him?
I once overheard an argument on board between a German and a Spaniard about who elevated the woodcut to an art form, Albrecht Dürer or Alberto Durero. Eventually, they realized they were talking about the same man. Ha!
Albrecht Dürer is called Alberto Durero in Spain?
That's right. Don't ask me why.
Buonarroti. That sounds Italian, doesn't it?
Ha! You can say that again. Buonarroti is the name of the greatest artist of all time. Michelangelo Buonarroti, who most people only know by his first name. Just imagine. One man, an Italian, achieves perfection in all 3 movements of graphic arts. His David is the most famous statue in the world. As an architect, he was a genius. He built parts of St. Peter's Basilica.
And as a painter, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
The creation of Adam. The spark of life leaps from God to Adam. One of the most famous paintings in the world.
Yes, it is. Does Vatican City have an animal on its coat of arms?
No.
And the Pope?
Every Pope has his own emblem, but the new one doesn't have an animal.
You don't seem to like the new Pope.
It's too early to say. But who's fit to hold a candle to John the 23rd? Il Papa Buono, as we used to call him. The good Pope.
He just died recently. What was his heraldic animal?
He was a lion. And so was his heraldic animal.
For a Catholic, Buonarroti's Adam could be a mnemonic for the lion. Pope John XXIII was elected in the Sistine Chapel like every other pope. I just need one more animal. I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
I don't know why, but it must be horrible to look back bitterly at the end of one's life. Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Do you usually ask strangers random questions?
I'm curious. How shall I learn if I don't ask?
Pick up a book.
Are you interested in art?
Not really. I'm more interested in real life, in people.
So, you don't know Albrecht Dürer?
Just because I'm not interested in art doesn't mean that I'm ignorant.
What can you tell me about him?
Books, my dear, books. In them, you'll find the answers to all your questions, even the most foolish ones.
I bet you don't know anything about him, and you just want to cover it up.
Ah, you want to appeal to my honor. Too obvious, I'm afraid.
May I take my leave?
You may.
The Baroness seems to have a reason to celebrate. She's downing one glass of champagne after another. The less, although... Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
I was talking to the captain. He didn't look well. Is he sick?
I am sure you will understand that I cannot discuss the medical history of one of my patients with you.
Why? Do you think I'm too stupid?
I didn't mean that. It is a matter of confidentiality.
I asked whether the captain is ill and you called him one of my patients. Haven't you already answered my question?
What do you want?
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
Adil?
In the shower.
I found the secret compartment.
Oh, brilliant! And the jewel?
I'm working on it. Adil?
Yes?
I almost got caught in the Baroness's cabin.
What happened?
I don't know. A man came in and I just had time to hide under the bed.
Maybe it was a steward who came to clean the cabin? Don't bother your pretty little head about it. Swap the eye and hurry back. I've got a surprise for you.
I don't think your surprise will really surprise me. The secret compartment is secured with a combination lock.
Is there any way in?
Not without leaving evidence. I need the combination.
Are there any hints?
A memory aid consisting of several works of art. There are animals on the lock.
The works of art might hint at specific animals.
You don't say, genius. I've already got that far. About the combination.
Yes?
Guernica. Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a city in the Basque region.
Does it have a heraldic animal? Or maybe the region has one?
I don't know. I've never been there. I just know it because the city was bombed by the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War.
Nazis? In the Spanish Civil War?
Well, not officially, of course. At the request of General Franco, his friends from Germany reduced a defenseless city to ashes and rubble. Picasso immortalized the bombing in his famous painting.
Really? Is it on display in Spain?
Silly. As long as Franco is in charge, he won't allow that.
Where is it?
Oh, no idea. Paris, maybe? Picasso lived there for a long time.
Maybe doesn't help me much. Alberto Durero.
What about him?
What's his most famous work?
Hard to say. He did a lot. He was a pioneer of woodcuts and printmaking.
The Baroness left his monogram as a hint, not the name of one of his artworks. So there must be a painting that everyone associates with him.
Not to my knowledge. Although he did have a favorite motif.
And that was?
Himself. He made quite a few self-portraits.
That's it. The artist is the art.
Sounds logical. His most famous self-portrait is in the Prado in Madrid. I saw it with my own eyes 2 years ago.
Does Madrid have something like a heraldic animal?
Sure, it's a bear. It's on the coat of arms and all over the city.
A bear again? Like in Berlin?
Why not? The same numbers appear more than once on normal combination locks.
That's true. The bear then. That's it! 3 animals are all I need. I can guess the 4th. But I could try to find the 4th symbol anyway, just to be sure. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
A deal?
Yes?
I've got the combination. At least, I think I have.
Ha! That's my girl.
I'm going to steal the eye now. When I come back, we can celebrate.
Hooray.
I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
I'll humor the... I'll humor... Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
Have you ever heard of a Picasso?
That's enough. I am saying this as politely as I can. Please leave me alone now. We can discuss these unimportant things tomorrow, if it is really necessary.
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
It must be exciting to meet all the world's famous and powerful people.
I stay away as far as possible from high society. Too shallow. Too boring.
But some of them must be exciting. Have you ever met Picasso?
They told him he's a genius so often that he actually started to believe it himself.
But his paintings are impressive. Guernica, for example.
Well, it certainly is big. I have to give him that.
Didn't he have to flee from Spain?
Yes, from the fascists, but not just him. Many of his paintings as well. If I remember correctly, Guernica is currently on display in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. He bequeathed it to a future Spanish republic.
And until then it stays in New York?
Yes. It's been there for years now.
Have you ever been to New York?
For the love of God, what would I do there? We have the original York in England. That's quite enough for me.
So, you don't know the heraldic animal of New York?
No. Probably an eagle. It's all eagles over there.
May I take my leave?
You may.
Captain DeConti?
Yes?
An old seaman like you must surely have been to New York, right?
Aye, aye. My usual territory is the Mediterranean, but I've crossed the Atlantic many times. It's always a great moment when the Statue of Liberty appears on the horizon.
You wouldn't happen to know the heraldic animal of New York?
No. Maybe an eagle?
An I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
Strange guy. I wonder what... He seems like... The two of them seem win a deal and I... No, I won't talk to them as long as I can...
Baroness von Tribitz? Are you okay? Hello? Baroness? Hello?
A deal.
What happened?
The Baroness. Blood everywhere.
But who?
I don't know. Inch?
That doesn't make any sense.
Don't move. Zellner, up here. We've got our shadow. How are you?
I do nothing. Me crew.
Sure you are. What are you doing here?
Just fresh air.
Sure. You just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zellner, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Were you recently traveling via trunk?
Nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Oh, sure. And you obviously didn't attack me either, did you?
The Baroness won't open her door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert. We'll talk later, my friend.
What is? Did nothing.
Inspector Legrand thinks otherwise. Move!
But I have... Gunshot!
I know that! Get moving! Into the cell!
Ah! Hello? It wasn't my fault.
What wasn't your fault? That you were walking around the ship? That you let them catch you? That you endangered the whole plan? But you endangered me.
I didn't kill anyone. They arrested me purely by coincidence. They'll have to turn me loose in Cairo. I mean, someone was killed, weren't they? I heard a shot. Why won't you answer?
I'm having a conversation that you cannot hear.
What happened last night?
The Baroness was murdered.
Did you?
No. If it were up to me, she'd have had an accident in a couple of weeks. Instead, someone shot the old bat in the heart point blank.
Are we calling it off?
No. Mr. X is ready, and as her surviving representative, I should be able to move about freely in the museum. The old hag's death doesn't change anything.
How did you get in here?
I'm more than capable of finding the entrance to a cargo hold. Indeed, it was child's play. It's not as though I had to crawl through ventilation shafts or anything so gauche.
So, what do we do now? I could escape and...
swim to Cairo.
So, I stay here and wait?
They'll arrest you in Cairo and question you about the murder. Even if they don't throw you in jail, it'll take days.
And if we find the murderer, then they'd have no reason to hold me.
Oh, I'm one step ahead of you.
Nervous? I would be if I were you.
This Zellner chap wasn't part of the plan. I don't like it.
He's groping about in the dark. Legrand is the real problem.
Still, I'm going to take him out of the picture.
How?
Dr. Gebhardt killed the Baroness. A clever old man, but not clever enough to keep me from finding out.
So you just have to tip Legrand off, and then I'm as good as free.
That's what I thought at first, but then I thought, why waste the opportunity? I put Zellner on the trail of the good doctor. He'll drive Gebhardt into a corner, and when he lashes out in desperation, he might hit our Swiss friend. Maybe even Legrand, if we're really lucky.
You can't do that. The old fella's just doing his job.
And so am I.
Inch. Enough blood has been shed. Inch. No more deaths. Damn! I have to get out of here and warn Constable Zellner. Someone should move that board before the nail gets stepped on. Like everything else on this ship, the bars and hinges are showing their age, but they're still much too strong for me to kick the door open. Huh. Lock looks pretty modern. Needs a small key, 5 pins. I could pick it with the right tools. Ugh, they're really spoiling me with this cup of metallic-tasting water. If I'm really lucky, they'll toss me a few crumbs of bread. I guess this cage is some kind of detention cell for the crew. It's not the most impregnable prison in the world, but it's still a problem. Tossing the cup on, but there's no... Someone should move that. I've seen movies in which the prisoners called their... but it wouldn't help. I didn't sleep a wink last night. All I could think of was Alex. The blanket got caught on the nail. A board and a nail. I've seen movies, but it wouldn't happen. If I were able... I doubt that will work. Yep, the nail is much too thick to fit in the keyhole. I think it's working. Huh, one down. I'll hang it back on the frame, and if I'm lucky, no one will notice my escape. As soon as Constable Zellner and Inspector Legrand are out of danger, I'll slip back into the cell. They'll arrest the good doctor, and hopefully they'll turn a blind eye to a poor stowaway. Fire still poses a great threat to ships. There are fire alarms, extinguishers, and hoses everywhere nowadays. These hoses are pretty versatile. They'll do at a pinch if you can't smuggle climbing ropes into the building you're planning to rob. Before I went to London to become Inch's protege, Alex and I drove through the French Riviera in this It was a wonderful week, and on the cliffs near Toulon, I asked her to marry me. But this is no time for remedy. There's nothing in the car. What's this? Whoa, heavy. Everything's a bit bigger and heavier on a ship, pulleys included. Huh. A ring set into the floor. You could attach ropes or chains to it. It's set into the floor to keep people from tripping over it. What's that up there? A grate. Sunlight's shining through it. And above it, a bent pipe. This could be my way out. The bars are welded at 4... good height for attaching something to the hook. No, that doesn't make any sense. I attached the... I tied the... Here goes nothing. Louder than I expected. I hope no one noticed. With luck, I'll be able to warn the others about the doctor before it's too late. I tied the hose to the hook. I could do this all day. I tied the hose to the hook. No! Hey, you all right? That bastard didn't inject the fatal dose. You'll be back on your feet soon enough.
But...
Better take it easy while I... Oh, no! I'll be right back. I can see Legrand in the saloon. Where are you?
No! Why? Can't you just leave me alone? Stay there.
Just relax.
Why can't you just leave me alone? It is always the same old story.
What old stories?
I am a decent man. Why are you torturing me? I loved her. She betrayed me. It was her fault. I have blood on my hands because of her.
Are you talking about the Baroness?
She was her sister. I loved her. With all my heart. They were Jewish, you know? But I didn't care about that. I hid them when it became dangerous for them. I looked after them. I brought them food. I was a party member. And still, I hid her and her whole family.
You risked your life for a woman you loved. And 30 years later, you murder her sister?
I saw her swollen belly. I was so angry. He was one of them, you know? They just used me. I hid them, brought them food, and in return they laughed about me behind my back.
What did you do?
There are Jews hiding in the basement of the Waldhof. Armed Jews. We have to burn them out. And that's what they did.
You had the whole family killed?
I am a gentleman. And I expect that others... that they don't.
She didn't love you and was expecting a child by another man. And that's why you betrayed her.
It was her fault. She shouldn't have cheated on me. I saved her. I risked my life for her every day for 4 months.
And then you threw it all away and became a murderer.
I am not. I am...
Yeah, well, the dead Baroness in the ship's hold proves the opposite.
I had never met her. Back in East Prussia, she was the older sister, the smart sister. She studied art history in New York, tried to get her family out of East Prussia, but I was able to prevent that.
You say you loved her, and yet you wanted to deny her and her family a safe life.
They were safe. I protected them. It was for their sake that I joined the party. I had contacts. I wrapped them in my protective embrace.
You didn't let her escape because you wanted to keep her close to you.
She sent photos to her sister before the war. She must have recognized me yesterday in Venice. I certainly recognized her.
The Baroness was searching through her photos. That's true.
She couldn't get me during the war. And after the war, I disappeared. Gave myself a new name, a new resume, a new life. And then, suddenly, there she was. About to ruin everything.
So, she had to die.
I didn't want that. But she gave me no choice. Why did she have to stir up old ghosts?
All right now.
No. It ends here and now.
Why do you want to kill yourself?
Isn't it obvious? He can't bear his false, hollow life anymore.
Who are you? What do you want?
A man who understands etiquette and honor, and yet is nothing but a coward himself, who, because of wounded vanity, burdens himself with immense guilt.
Don't come any closer.
The Baroness held a mirror up to you, didn't she, Doctor? And you hated what you saw there, so you smashed the mirror. But the sins of the past are catching up with you now, aren't they?
No.
A scowl with empty eyes full of fear.
Stop it.
Oh, dear, you really know how to dampen the mood. I almost had him. And you? Aren't you supposed to follow orders? Are you not here to assist me?
I won't.
That wasn't a question.
I don't want any dead bodies.
The same old story. You want success, but you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Isn't the Raven famous for that?
I do what's necessary.
No!
No. What is it then? You wanted to jump anyway, or you should at least.
Inch.
I'm just lending a friendly hand. He's a coward. He needs a bit of motivation. Come on now, chop, jump.
You are the Baroness's butler, aren't you? I did not want to kill your mistress.
Oh, nonsense. Forgiven and forgotten, if you don't mind my asking.
There must be another solution.
Why are you doing this?
Nothing personal. Well, that's not entirely true. You're a miserable excuse for a human being, aren't you? But mainly, you're a means to an end. Your death will get Inspector Legrand off our backs.
The inspector? What do I have to do with him?
Your letter. The one in which you confess to being the Raven and to killing the Baroness because she saw through your ruse.
That's absurd.
Indeed it is. But people will believe almost anything if it suits them. The press will love it. Bold Inspector Legrand saves the day again. Interviews, medals, urgent telegrams from the capital. Our dear friend won't be able to escape the limelight, and by the time the commotion has ended, I'll be long gone.
You can't kill him.
Why not? He's a bastard, his death will help us, and he's a witness. If we let him go, we'll both go to jail.
All the same, we're not going to kill him. You got us into this situation. And as long as I'm alive, I won't let anyone be killed in my presence.
No.
I have to do the dirty work for you in the museum, so you won't be shooting me, or him.
Very well, you win. What? Never speak to me like that again. Do you understand? I need you to steal the eye, but one day I could be overwhelmed by a feeling of hatred that will make me forget the eye. And there are worse things I could do than simply shoot you. I suggest you go back to your cell. You need to be fit for Cairo. I still have a confession to write.
The last act. The end of the Raven. part of me wants to abandon the whole plan and go back to Europe. What if something goes wrong and Legrand catches on? I couldn't bear it if something happened to her. I can't afford to slip up.
Mr. Jamal, I'm glad you could make it.
Let's get this over with.
Still angry on account of the good doctor?
You disgust me.
You'll be rid of me in less than 2 hours, and I of you.
What happens next?
My diversion worked wonderfully. The press has laid siege to the French embassy, and Legrand won't be able to escape them. He should arrive in a few minutes with the safe, and then he'll have to answer ridiculous questions from reporters all afternoon.
That's why we're striking now.
A regrettable necessity. I would have preferred to make my grand entrance this evening at the gala. But yes, we will strike as soon as the safe is in the treasure chamber and Legrand has left.
Have you already met your Mr. X?
He's counting an envelope of unmarked bills as we speak. He put the blueprints under the statue of Imhotep.
Blueprints?
A sketch of the museum, not the kind you can get just anywhere. This one shows secret entrances, basements, and attic rooms that the Resistance used during the war.
That's what it was about.
Get the blueprints. There's a basement below the treasure chamber. The entrance should be marked on the blueprints. Open it and give me a sign.
What's the next step?
You'll find out when it's time.
But